All right. So I guess you can manifest solutions to problems, but why would you? I find there's a much less painful and a lot more quicker way to do this. My name is Mr. 2020. You are listening to the Power of Imagination podcast, where we explore one thing, the power of imagination, which is activated by vision. Your desires are divine in origin. They contain their own plan and power of expression. And Neville says, and here's one more bit, they are a promise, they are a prophecy. Do you get problems are a probability? You know, when they say on the news, yep, your electric rates are going to go up, that's probably true. You know, you're going to get older. Most older people get arthritis, type 3 diabetes, dementia. Well, for a lot of people, that's probably true. I invite you to engage the world of possibility. Because as soon as you start measuring probabilities or accepting, what age is the cause, you just sold the pearl. The president is the cause. You just sold the pearl. Just for fun, if you haven't, pearlpowerpack.com, go there and read about 21,297 emails. Pearlpowerpack.com, and the quote, and look into the eyes of the guy there. Enough said. And get it if you feel moved to. Because most people haven't really bought the pearl. And they struggle. And they do the right things, but they don't have any fuel in the car. So they end up pushing the car instead of driving it. But that was a side trip. Let's get back on target, shall we? Ready? If it's true, your awareness of being is God, and you are how God has the adventure of a lifetime, and you are God having the adventure of a lifetime, why wouldn't you play in the world of possibilities? So I'm going to give you a very, 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 very real one. Because Janice sent me an email this morning. And for 3 years, she's been struggling with getting healthy. And I get it. Been there, done that. I didn't know any better. And so I invite her to a few things. And this is a profound truth that I want you to get. Problems are universal. Sickness is universal. Slowing down, universal. Being in pain, universal. That just happens, in a way. But let's keep going before you turn off. Problems are universal, and so are the solutions. Oh, I want to hit the lottery, Mr. 20. Yay. Yeah, I want a rich soulmate. Yay, I got it. Those are universal solutions that everybody asks about. But there's power in personal, and I want you to write this down. Your desires are unique and personal to you. So listen closely. You may have heard this story before, but I want you to hear it in a new way. December 25th, right? I realized how much I'd been struggling with being fat, with my hip hurting nonstop, bone-on-bone pain, told I needed a hip replacement by way more than one expert. And I got tired of that. I didn't realize, but I was making 2 mistakes, and I'm willing to say that I make mistakes. Right? Neville was willing to say that he makes mistakes, that he didn't always nail it, that there was some element of clarity missing. You see, when you're missing clarity, a lot of people think they're self-sabotaging, which is bullshit. A lot of people think that they are needing to learn karmic lessons, which is bullshit. It's just that you're lacking clarity. And let me tell you what I mean by that. I realized that I wanted something. I wanted to be fighting fit. That's unique to me. And it ain't the words that are unique to me, because some of y'all can go, oh, I can get that, right? I used to be a boxer or whatever. But fighting fit to me had me experience all kind of weird and fun capabilities with my legs, with kicking. Boy, the things I used to do with my legs. It had me experience all kind of movie and groovy movements. I mean, some really cool stuff. I've trained with some very fascinating people over the past 40 plus years, 45 years, good Lord. And there were some things that I used to do that I missed, that I longed for, that I felt beckoning to me. And that was my desire to be able to do that again. To go from needing a walking stick and taking painkillers to being able to move with bounce and smooths. And when I moved into that identity of fighting fit, I found all kinds of things changing instantly, easily, effortlessly. And since then, I've lost 2 Christmas hams and a Thanksgiving turkey worth of ugly fat. I've got the photos to prove it. You can see it in my face. I've regained bounce, buoyancy, smooth and groove in my steps. A year and a half ago, I could barely walk up a set of steps. Now I strut steps. It's all play. And here's the other thing. Without real clarity, without really activating the power of personal, which activates the plan and the power, because all your desires are personal, they're not universal. You see, when I was just imagining healthy or thin, because I was fat and in a way sickly, I could blame age, I could blame old injuries, I could blame my history, or I could open up to my mystery. And this is what I want you to get today. Your desires are unique to you. When I started to experience me as the guy who, everything changed. So I've got a few suggestions for you. If you want to dive deeper with us, there's only so much I can do on a podcast, and I'm really not drawn to do many podcasts right now. I don't know when the next one will be. I get a lot of people who are settling for the podcast. They tell me that. I love your podcast. Cool. Why don't you do MM or something? Oh, I just love your podcast. I appreciate that. But I really want your life to change. So I'm going to give you 3 ways to change your life after we go into the silence. And imagine up something very personal to you. So I imagine up something very personal, very visceral. Not just the way my body moved, but how I saw the world. Because whenever I needed a walking stick and painkillers, I avoided steps. I planned all my parking very meticulously. And I avoided having to take staircases and too many steps. Now I park my car and I walk everywhere. I enjoy the strut and meeting people and having fun and having bounce and buoyancy in the way that I move. This is really personal to me. It's not about health versus sickness, young versus old. Those are concepts. Mr. 2082, and I want to feel like I'm 25 again. I want to manifest youth. Yeah, that's a problem and a solution. But if we get into personal, exploring who you would be, how you would see, exploring what you would do as this chosen you, your whole life changes. So my 3 suggestions, if you're just getting started with us, manifestingmasterycourse.com. That's that 90-day adventure. Changes everything. 15 minutes a day, $97. Send us an update every week. I can promise you I'll write back if I get it. If I don't write back, I didn't get it. Send it to me again or another way. Facebook, whatever. I don't care. Manifestingmasterycourse.com. My second one, identity-based manifesting. I see so many people struggle because they try to change their activity or they try to change what is in their life, and they don't really explore and change who they are. And it's not just about changing a concept of you. I love that Neville shared that, but I notice when people tend to do that, they go into their head and they make something up. I want you to change your experience of you. And we dive deep in how to do that in identitybasedmanifesting.com. Because your imaginal experience changes all your experience. Changing your label doesn't do anything. Identitybasedmanifesting.com. And the third one I mentioned earlier, pearlpowerpack.com. That's 3 live calls that we did because I just happened to buy the Pearl and have some great shit to share about it. And I also noticed there were areas where I hadn't bought the pearl, or I sold it or dropped it and didn't realize it. And so it started with one call. It turned out to be 3 calls. You can get all 3 for the price of 1. It's a great pack, pearlpowerpack.com. Have a great day. My name is Mr. 2020. You've been listening to the Power of Imagination podcast, where we explore and accept only one thing, the power of imagination. Because it ain't your age. It ain't the food that you eat. It ain't who's president. It's how do we explore the power of you. See ya.